hey, what's in the world around us. For example, the Freedom Over Fear movement and the rally in Washington, D.C., with many people taking to the streets to express their views, including trucker shortage that's expanding that they say we're due to, which I'm not going to get into, but you'll see the sign right here. You can read it for yourself. I don't want to cause any sort of issues with the service, so I'm not going to read it. If you were not aware of this, a giant sulfur dioxide plume, a devastating Tonga volcanic eruption, which also caused a devastating tsunami on the area, has spread across the world that we call home, Earth, and will cause harm to the environment for many, many years. Videos and pictures are seen from the plume. This is the big plume over the northeastern area of Australia, as well as lighter plumes all over the ocean, coming from the Hunga Tonga volcano. Alright, the next article speaks about the unusual winter fire in Big Sur, California. Highway 1 and forced evacuations of 500. Videos and pictures right here on social media. And hundreds of deep-sea fish in Puerto Vallarta. Is this a sign? This is in Mexico. Is it a sign of worse things to come? Or is it a result of the Tonga volcano eruption and tsunami? As we know, tsunamis can cause deep-sea fish and very rare and usually unseen creatures to wash ashore, sometimes very strange creatures. So could be a sign of something else coming, or it could be from the volcano. After the overdue Cascadia mega earthquake tsunami, Pacific Northwest residents will only have 10 minutes to evacuate, not 12 hours, like after the Tonga eruption. This is what took place afterwards. And as parts of Texas went from 80 degrees and sunny to an ice storm in just 36 hours, a pipeline company threatens to cut off gas supply to Texas and Texas's biggest power generator. Crazy situations taking place around this world. As you know, many weather anomalies taking place, from extreme fires or extreme snow happening in the Middle East and Africa. Just last week, Middle East received feet of snow. Africa received several feet of blizzards of snow. Meanwhile, hail covered many areas, places in Europe, extreme storms. Meanwhile, Russia and China, tensions rising there. They always like to keep us, in my opinion, when one thing eases off, they like to keep a constant distraction. Very, very much like that 1961 Reader's Digest from November 1961, 11. Turn 1961 over, and you get 1961 again. That magazine appeared for me in the yard right before the George Floyd event, right before, and it's all in that book. Every bit of it. It was prophesied for me to see. I'll talk about that another time. Very, very interesting things happen to me, as you all know. Many signs that come in, many signs that tell you things, but yeah, just keep your eyes on things. But they like to keep us distracted. Meanwhile, the chess game they're playing with Russia and China, Russia threatening, and we're threatening back. Not really doing much, but we're supposedly having an argument and threatening each other. And then meanwhile, apparently it just released that the Pentagon press secretary stated that we actually intercepted several intercontinental ballistic missiles over UAE, or the United Arab Emirates, which a peace accord or deal was signed with, basically brokering trade and business and supporting peace in that area with Israel just last year by Mr. T, President Trump. So, some different various things happening, so many things. Our buttercups, our flowers are actually blooming, coming out. Even though we had 8 inches of snow, we've had 4 snowstorms already, ice events. They're blooming. 60 degrees today, 30 and 20s for the rest of the week, teens. Our high wind chill high, real feel tomorrow is going to be 22 degrees. Back to 48 on Thursday. And then dropping to 30 for the high on Friday. Then back to the 40s for the weekend, and then possibly 60 again on next Monday. After being 19, from 19 to 60. Insane weather. Thermal anomalies detected by Sentinel-2 at the Tufua, another volcano in the central group of the Tonga Islands. A mushroom cloud, the size comparison of the Tonga, St. Helens eruptions, as well as many others, as well as many of the Sar Bomba. A very, very impressive mushroom cloud here. The Tonga volcano eruption actually created mysterious and puzzling concentric ripples in the Earth's atmosphere, as you'll see right there. Very interesting anomaly. You think there was some sort of a reason why? There might have been a mysterious reason why that the Tonga volcano caused these ripples in the Earth's atmosphere? And that powerful snowstorm that swept across the United States back on January 17th left so many people in the dark and so many thousands of flights canceled. So snowstorm after snowstorm, blizzard after blizzard, not just here, but worldwide. So basically, scientists were struggling to monitor that volcano. So they had not only do they have a massive eruption, but then 2 islands got wiped out. They had a second eruption cover-up. First they had an eruption, another eruption, and then they had another one. Finally they had to tell it after this spread on January 17th. So it took them until the information finally started spreading before they finally put it on the news. They had no internet, no telephone communications. They couldn't receive any signals or send any. It was compared to the 1991 Pinatubo eruption. They also had a large tornado in the snow. A snow-nado with extreme lightning and thunder in the snow. Thunder snow. That looks like a face there. Anyway, so that massive volcano and the sonic boom heard in Canada and Alaska, they said that Tonga volcano was felt around this world, literally, as it circled at this planet at 830 miles per hour. Sonic booms were heard everywhere. And then, the dangerous 6.6 magnitude earthquake hit off of the Java Islands in Java, Indonesia, shakes the capital city of Jakarta and sent thousands into the streets. 2 were injured, and 900 buildings were damaged. Videos and pictures were posted. Right here's one of them on January 15th. Many people asked, please, pray for us. The message was sent out as surging tsunami waves crashed in Tonga. That was before their connection was completely shut off. After one of their most violent eruptions, the violent Hunga Ha'apai eruption that was ever captured on satellites. This was an image of the red skies and orange skies looking apocalyptic in nature. Yes, I know apocalypse actually means revealing or lifting of the veil or awakening. But China is actually piling up unprecedented quantities of food. They're stockpiling them. And they've been doing this for many years, hoarding it from the rest of this world. They knew things like this were coming, and they planned many things out, but they inflated food prices while hoarding things for themselves. They hoarded so many quantities of food, inflating the prices and dropping more countries into famine. 69% of the world's maize or corn reserves are owned by them and being hoarded by them. 60% of this world's rice and 51% of its wheat, causing wars, famine, and spreading of this virus. North Korea hacked a record $400 million in cryptocurrency last year, and they have just launched 3 hypersonic missiles in just 2 weeks. Any links there? Why is this going up and down? Hold on. The Ukraine was hit by a massive cyber attack on the government websites, so their government websites could not be reached back on January 14th. That sparked wars and rumors of wars, just like biblical texts and prophecy state. And also, if you remember, not only were their websites hacked, but we put out a message just earlier, actually late last week, which would be around, I think, the 22nd or 23rd of January 2022. We stated that we can shut off parts of the grid. And I'm not talking about an EMP or electromagnetic pulse. I'm talking about hacking. We have people on the inside, they stated, that can hack Russia's systems, and they said, you better not. We'll counteract. Well, they claim we have more high-power technology and we can shut off their grids or their technology. They claim we can shut their communications down and we'll hack and block their internet service. Well, then they stated and said we can do the same thing. And we said, well, no, you can't. Not like we can. We're going to shut off. It's like a bunch of children playing a chess game. But anyway, they said we can shut them off. We said we can shut them off. And they said, you better not. So that's the bottom line. Who knows what will happen? And then the last thing I think I talked about in one of my videos was a new law. Actually, I think I just posted it in the community posts. That's what I did. New law will mandate remote kill switches in all new cars in the United States, and they will implement that law to be put in place, supposedly added into that massive infrastructure bill that was recently forced into place. They hide these small bills within these big bills and have to sign the HR whatever, the House resolution, this or that or the other. Whichever resolutions or big bills with thousands of pages that they have to make the time go by quicker, to make these bills get passed quicker and easier. They claim it's for a convenience purpose, but truly it's more for control. They can sign the bills that no one wants, similar to the way they did with the stimulus package bills, the economic stimulus payments, the economic impact payments. The packages were all intertwined within a bunch of bills that no one wanted. No one wanted some of these laws that were enacted to be set in place in 2022, this year. No one wanted some of this. Some of them in 2026, like this one. But, well, no one in their right mind wanted it. Several bills were all about control, but they implemented them in the middle of these thousands of pages. But at the top of it was the economic impact payments, or the stimulus checks and stimulus bills. And everyone wants that, right? Well, let's put that at the top and let's just sign all of them in the name of that. And the people will go for it, right? So that's the way they did it. That's the way they always do it. And then there you have the no more gas leaf blower bills. No more leaf blowers, only electric. And it's too, if it's too much noise ordinance, and kill switches mandated in all vehicles after 2026. And all vehicles must go electric by this time or face a fine. No more emissions testing. all these things were put into place in bills that no one really, and more control bills as well. You're not allowed to have coal or gas, or electric heat, or have oil or gas, or gas heat, or kerosene, or whatever you might do. It was impacted by several of these bills that were put into place and mixed in with the stimulus package payments. And all of that mess was put in there together. The last one that was signed with the leaf blower bill and this new car mandate, that was mixed in with the so-called infrastructure bill. Build like butter bill. The BBB bill, infrastructure bill, where they claim they're going to fix our roads and bridges. These unwanted, forced changes were all added in there. All right, so that's my final word for this video. Peace and much love. Signing out. This little update on things going on in the world around us. Thank you for watching. I really can't thank you enough for being a part of my online family. Signing out. Stay aware, everyone. Links below if you'd like to show support. Please do if you can. It helps out. Like, subscribe, and share. Leave your comments below. If you've got some interesting news you'd like me to share, please leave that below as well. Much love.